We've received quite a bit of interest in my free to be workshop, so to that effect, beneath this video is a link that will give you a description for the workshop, and we've also included a special discount. So if that's something you would be interested in, I would invite you to click that link, and I hope that you would find the course to be quite beneficial. There's a specific pattern of life that tends to be inclined towards very strong relationship skills. And that's the pattern that we call the empath. Now, picking up on the word empathy, and we can say an empath, the empath is somebody that has a very strong ability to read and to know and understand another person's emotions and needs and perspectives. As they're engaging with people, they like to think, what makes you tick? And how can I be there alongside of you to help you feel okay about who you are and to know, I want you to walk away knowing that you've been encouraged in the presence of someone who understands. And empaths, as a result, tend to be known as those who have a very big heart toward other individuals. They can be known as being tuned in and a real strong encourager, somebody that really likes to get in the weeds with you and say, how can I be of assistance to you? They are known as being sensitive. When I say sensitive, they can pick up on all sorts of little bitty cues that the average person out there might not pick up on from you. But they can also be sensitive in the sense that they're a little bit more delicately wired on their own side, in that they pick up on your emotional responses and maybe sometimes overinterpret that. That's one of the things that they have to guard for. Empaths feel deeply. Sometimes so deeply, though, that they can be overwhelmed by other individuals. But when they're coupled with other people who also appreciate and can reciprocate in that regard, they usually have very strong and rewarding relationships. They can be known as the ultimate loyal person, a very good person to have around as a friend. Now, you have their counterparts, and that would be the narcissist. The narcissist is over there thinking, well, actually, I'm the most important person around here, and don't you forget it. Narcissists have a real sense of entitlement. They're very self-impressed, very self-absorbed. They want to be in control. They have to be superior. And so when they see that empath coming along, it's like, okay, how can I work this to my advantage? And they have all sorts of ways to do so. Now, I want to point out 3 different patterns of narcissism and how each of these 3 different patterns can pick up on things from the empath and use it to their advantage. I want to mention the vanity narcissist, the covert narcissist, and then the malignant narcissist. Each in their own right can have different ways of trying to take advantage of the empath. Keep in mind, narcissists are predators. They're looking for people to give them supply so that they can feel like they are indeed the most dominant and the most important person around. Now, when we start with the vanity narcissist, let's keep in mind that the vanity narcissist is the one that says, I want to look really impressive. And so they're drawn towards themes of beauty. They're drawn towards money. They're drawn towards bling. They like to be showy, and they can be a little bit overly dramatic. They overplay their sense of importance, and if they've done an accomplishment, which might be an accomplishment that a lot of people have, well, when they talk about it, it's like they're ready for the Nobel Peace Prize, They're very attention-seeking. They have a lot of conceit in the way that they engage with people. They just must be adored. They must be admired and be seen as somebody that's extra attractive. So when that vanity narcissist comes across the empath, they're thinking, oh, you're really into me, aren't you? Let's connect. Let's you and me connect. Because they look at the empath as somebody that very willingly says, well, I really do want to know you. And I want to be somebody that can be an encouraging presence. And so in their narcissism, that vanity individual can think, I am so going to use this to my advantage, so they can sidle up next to that empath and say, let's you and me be best friends. And it may be, whether it's in a social setting, they want to make sure that you give them praise for all the different things that they do and they've accomplished, their wit and all of that. Or if they're in a business setting, it's like, well, I really need to look successful. And so if there's anything that empath can do that can help me out in that regard, well, I'll take advantage of that. Or even inside of family scenarios, it's like, hey, look, nobody's more important around here than me, and you exist to meet my needs. And so that vanity narcissist is going to say, I'll take those compliments. Well, I'll take a few more compliments. Give me more, give me more. And their favorite word is more. What the what the empath has to offer is like, well, that's good, but can you give me some more? They want you to see all the things that are wonderful and terrific. And the empath can be the kind of person that wants to build other individuals up. And as a result, the narcissist thinks, yeah, and I want you to kind of give special compensation for my needs or sometimes my complaints, and I want you to make room for me. And that empath can be the kind of person that says, hey, look, I'm here for you. The vanity person can say, good, keep it up and just make me look good. Now, a second one, you have the covert narcissist. Now, the covert narcissist, by use of the word covert, they're going to be much more stealth than the vanity narcissist. These individuals are also very self-absorbed and entitled, but they're much more subdued. Basically, they'll let it be known, I don't want to be too obvious in my selfishness, but I do need to get my way. And these people can be very passive aggressive in the way that they manipulate other individuals. They're chronically critical. They're constantly watching you, thinking, how can I get an angle out of you? They absolutely will not be open. So when that person sees the empath coming along, they're thinking, I think I can make this work for me. And so what they'll do is they'll use traits like or tactics like guilt induction. It's like, if I can get you in your delicate sensitivity to feel guilty for doing something away from me, I think I can make that work. And so they'll remind you that, well, you told me this, but I really needed that, or I don't know why you would do something this way. When the empath's over there thinking, well, I don't want anybody to be displeased because they like to connect. The covert narcissist will more than happily offer you criticism. They may second guess, like, well, why would you do something like that? And they can be the ultimate gaslighters. And then one of the most successful, if we can use that term, tactics that they can use towards the empath is that they can refer to you, to that person, as being selfish or insensitive. It's like, that covert narcissist is thinking, look, I try my hardest to do the right thing around here, and you're just selfish. You're not sensitive at all. And that is absolutely, poison to the empath. It's like, you can't call me that because I don't think I'm a selfish person at all. So they may go in overdrive trying to keep that covert narcissist satisfied. That's how they operate, and they'll manipulate you left and right as long as you allow them to do so. And then that third pattern we'll refer to is the malignant narcissist. The malignant narcissist, they can come off as very dominant. These individuals make they make no pretense about the fact that they have to be in charge. They can be mean. They're not at all subtle about their desire to overwhelm you. They feel superior, and they feel like their superiority is something that they've somehow or another earned. They can be very overbearing. They have a very low conscience about how they treat people. They can be very aggressive. They can be the bully. And these are the ones that, I hate to say it this way, give narcissism an even worse name than it is because they're so difficult to engage with. That malignant narcissist, when they encounter an empath, they're thinking one thought, and that is, you're a weakling, aren't you? You're just a wimp. I can use someone like that on my team. And they love to gather people around who are going to be their flying monkeys, who are going to do their bidding for them. It's like, I'm just going to make mincemeat out of you, and then I'm just going to use you and use you and use you until I just grind you into the ground. And empath, because they tend not to like conflict very well, It's like, look, I don't want any trouble here, and I don't want us to have any kind of discord. And so they will respond to that malignant narcissist thinking, what do I have to do to keep this person happy? And the malignant narcissist is over there thinking, shut up. You're just a fool. You're an idiot, although they probably won't say it quite that politely. And they have nothing but disdain for the empath, even though they'll use them to keep them propped up. Now, when we break it down like this, it's pretty pitiable to think that here you are, if you're that empath, it's like, well, I like being tuned into people. And I like being a giver, and I like being that loyal person. I like understanding. And you have to think, but there's some people out there that'll just use that to their own not so good devices. What are you going to do? Let's keep in mind that if you're that empath, that narcissist, one of their defining features is the lack of empathy. They have zero interest in knowing you, so you're going to need to recognize that in your interaction with that narcissist, it's not a relationship. It's a transaction, and that's very important for you to acknowledge. They're not there to engage with you in a tender heart level. They're there thinking, how can I use you? And I'll just use you as far as I can go, and then I'll throw you off to the garbage heap. In addition, narcissists have no appreciation for your boundaries. Now, the empath may say, well, I want to respect your boundaries. In other words, you are who you are, and I want to make sure that I know all of that and what it means. The narcissist is thinking, good, because I don't care at all about you. And as a result, that empathic person is going to have to recognize, well, as much as I want to be tuned into their boundaries, I also need to be tuned into mine too. And so they need to have a sense of strength from the inside out. Let's just keep in mind this. For the narcissist, you want to acknowledge for the empath, you want to acknowledge that it's possible to care too much. And I know that sounds counterintuitive if you're that empath, because you do care a lot. But narcissists is like, okay, when you care, I interpret that as an invitation to take advantage and exploit you. And so that being the case, if you're that empath, stay the way you are in terms of being kind and friendly and understanding. But then there's one word that you're going to want to focus on and just learn all the angles of it inside and out, and that's the one word, assertiveness. You'll need to have some assertiveness. You'll need to be the kind of person that says, I'm standing up for me. I like being who I am, but I'm not going to be that way in the sense that says you get to take advantage of my good nature. I'm not going to go that far. And I hope videos such as this give you some good food for thought and some insight into how things like this work. If you've not already hit the subscribe button, I would invite you to do so that we can keep more videos coming in your direction. If you have a need for counseling, and many times when you think about these topics, that need emerges. If there's someone in your immediate area, I would encourage you to seek the counseling. If that's not available, or if you would prefer, we have a link below that would take you to online counseling with a whole team of people that you could choose from that could assist you in all of this. In addition, we have links to my courses like Free to Be course and a new one coming up called This Is Me, about setting boundaries with the controllers in your life. And of course, we have my books and other resources below, so avail yourself to that. Unfortunately, if you're an empath, with all of the good characteristics that come along with it, you have to be aware of who that narcissist is and what their angle is. And the more you have that awareness, then that allows you to be a person that can have steadiness and firmness even in the midst of your goodness. It's possible to have that kind of healthy combination. Practice self-care.